But right now, watching this offense, they're having it seems like to me they're having problems with size. They struggle against Brooklyn, against Brook Lopez. Now you got Marcin Gortat. Nene is not doing anything, but Gortat is killing him on the rebound and then actually putback. So every time you get an offensive rebound, it's going right back up, and that's how really Marcin Gortat is getting a lot of his points and doing a lot of damage against his Atlanta Hawks team. Now you got Paul Millsap, who's about 6'8". You got Al Horford, who's probably about 6'10", 6'11", and you got Marcin Gortat, it's probably about 7'1". And it seems like the size is really bothering the Hawks right now.
Well, they're a different way of playing defense. The Hawks do. It just, no one boxes out, and they try to double off of everything, and they try to trap, and it just opens up bad lanes for them to go and be able to get offensive rebounds and putbacks and wide open little layups and stuff like that. But that also, you got to give credit to Bradley Beal and John Wall as being able to make them have to do all this stuff with their guards. And now that Wall's out of the game, you'll start seeing less of them start fighting off of the pick and rolls and everything like that. So now they'll probably be able to go down and contain and get rebounds.
Yeah, I agree. Now if this news didn't come out about John Wall,
people tell me I don't want to.
If this news did not come out about John Wall and he was able to return in Game 3, I mean, would you have gave Washington a chance? Because we both picked Atlanta.
I picked Atlanta. I said it'd probably go all the way. I thought Washington wasn't there yet, but either way, I still would have picked Atlanta.
You still would have picked Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that Atlanta's playing, it would not surprise me that Washington would go ahead and win this series, and it is tough to see John Wall go through that because you train so hard and get there to the playoffs, and I know they had a little bit of a slump in the midst of the regular season, and now with him being down possibly for the rest of the season, I mean we obviously know it's a big blow for them, so we'll see how the Wizards bounce back in Washington, and we'll see what real Atlanta team shows up. So, all right, let's go on to the last series and discuss the Chicago versus Cleveland series.
Don't care.
Chicago got the split on the road and got pounced in Game 2. So
typical Chicago.
Very, inconsistent, which is very weird because they had a
typical Chicago
could have did this, but first of all, let's get your thoughts on the Derrick Rose and the Uncle Drew matchup and what you think about that.
As long as Derrick Rose is healthy, it's a good matchup. If he's not healthy, it sucks because he's not going to be out on the floor.
Yeah.
But now that you're getting a pretty halfway decent Derrick Rose, it's a very fun matchup.
Yeah, Derrick Rose is averaging 19 points per game, but he's shooting 37% this series. I mean, it's still a guy who's still trying to find his way. He's been in and out of the lineup this year as he's been the last few years, obviously, if you watch basketball. But I like the matchup.
Last few years, he's just been out the lineup, not even in.
Yeah. So,
this year he was in and out.
Yeah.
Last year, not so much.
Not, yeah. So, but I like the matchup because when you do get a healthy Derrick Rose and you get to see some of the fastest point guards in the NBA, definitely Kyrie, as Kevin mentioned earlier in the podcast.
Derrick Rose is slowed down because of his
hair. Yeah.
Not aerodynamic.
Yeah. Kyrie's
because your hair.
Yeah. Kyrie's shooting and dribbling is pretty darn good, as we recognize in the earlier podcast. Derrick Rose, to me, is one of those guys who had it with elite agility and speed. It's with the injuries, everything like that. I mean, it's still there, but it's not elite.
His handles ain't that by far great. It's just because he was so much damn faster than everybody else.
It caught you off guard, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was crossing you over or doing anything like that. He was going around you because you couldn't catch his little ass.
Yeah. All right.
But now with all that hair, you can catch.
Now this one will be pretty funny to you because LeBron.
If you even bring this up, I'm gonna smack you right in the back of the head.
LeBron.
And don't.
Due to Irving's request, James said he wanted to blend with his teammates, but he brought the headband back. You saw him in the back of the head. Go ahead. I wanted to bring it up. So, I know you're going to add to that. I'm going to add on to it. So, it was pretty funny to me because you sit there and say you want to blame your teammates, and then you want to go ahead and wear the headband and have this big game. But where was the sense of urgency the first game when you realize that you're down J.R. Smith and Kevin Love's not playing, but your back's against the wall, so now you turn this urgency. You need to realize
how do you blend in your team when a lot of them are white?
That, and you know what's funny though, when LeBron did have his headband off the first game, I saw that. I really couldn't find him on the court, even though I know I should have looked for just the receding hairline.
No, I can find him because he's the biggest damn dude on the damn
True,
floor.
but it was kind of like, it
was weird. It was weird though. You're going. There you go.
Yeah, so it was hard, and it was like, because Tristan Thompson got a fade, and they're about the same height. So you're like, is that Thompson or is that LeBron but I don't know.
LeBron's is just fading to the back of his head. It's not even a fade. His hairline is just fading to the back of his head.
Nah, I guess it's one of those things where they believe, people got superstitious feelings and everything like that. But we'll move forward.
David Blatt put a sign over his thing that said, "Don't try to blend in. You were made to stand out." I'm like, shut up. Nimrod.
All right, so J.R. Smith returns from suspension.
How many people in Miami wore a headband? Just one. He didn't try to blend in there, did he?
All right, J.R. Smith returns from his suspension in Game 3. And now Shumpert, who was probable to return with a groin injury, Shumpert's got 18 points so far in the 2 games he played in 2 steals, he has played pretty darn well. Going forward, what do you expect from these two in these
J.R.
series?
Smith will do another something stupid.
J.R. Smith, I'm expecting, like Kevin, I hope he doesn't do anything.
I hope he does something stupid because he's an idiot.
Yeah. J.R. Smith, to me, if he doesn't do any of these little silly antics, he provides shooting and scoring, everything in that position.
He's another guy. Don't care for him. He's an idiot.
So I'm expecting him to, you always say learn your lesson, but
he ain't learned his lesson.
You're a repeat offender and doing silly antics like this. But to me, they need your scoring because now Kevin Love is down. So now you got possibly Shumpert, who is probable with the groin injury. But with Shumpert going forward, still provide that extra punch of scoring and do what you do best. You guard the best, you guard the perimeter defense on that end. So make sure you do that. On Jimmy Butler, who is also in this series, got 19 points and both 3.5 assists per game and rebounds per games in the 2 games. He won most improved player. Got 92 of 129 first place votes. You think he deserved that?
Duh.
You don't make the case for Draymond Green or
no.
Rudy Gobert?
No, I'm not going to make a case for either one of them.
The Stifle Tower.
Who was the guy? Who was the guy that put Chicago on his back while Rose was gone? Enough said.
Hey,
who's in the playoffs? Enough said.
Hey,
there you go.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
He's a better version. He's a better version. What did I call him? Better version of Kawhi Leonard.
Jimmy Butler came into the league not knowing how to shoot.
He's a better version of Kawhi Leonard.
And he's worked on his game, and I'm not arguing with you. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I don't care what you're doing.
He's
flat out.
Jimmy Butler does deserve his award. I would just want to play a little bit of devil's advocate, but as you know,
You thought I was going to bite.
I thought you were going to bite, but
nope.
You was like, enough said, Nope. So Draymond Green did get some consideration, which he had a fantastic year.
No one cares.
But Jimmy Butler was that guy for this team when Derrick Rose was out. Even when they signed Paul Gasol, and they got some players, Joe Kim Noah, and
he's their version of Kawhi.
And this guy, to me, if you're Chicago, pay him. You got to pay him
or don't, and somebody else will.
Yeah, somebody else will. So he deserved the money was coming to him, and I believe it is. Now for the rest of the series, I expect him, do a pretty solid good job with LeBron James, which he did in Game 1, and then Game 2, LeBron just took off. But this is what a series is about.
Because he had his headband back on.
But I expect the punches to go back and forward, and Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who was always up for the challenge. Now his scoring's going to take a little dip in this series because he's focusing so much on LeBron, but you're okay with that because he said he wanted to focus on defense first. He even said himself during this year that he felt like his defense fell off a little bit. I still think he's a solid defensive player.
Oh, yeah, well,
he just got better.
When Thibodeau's your coach, you're automatically going to want to try to play defense better. But the reason he got better on the offensive end is because he had to.
That too.
When everybody's going around you that plays offense, you've got to be the guy, and you got to do what they ask you to do, and he did it.
He did it, and
in a most improved fashion.
Yes, I agree.
Ha.
All right. Before we go out, I tell Thibodeau they had a report. And this is from Adrian Wojnarowski, and the timing of this is weird. But him and GM Fargum are interacting awkwardly during practices, everything like that. And then assistants would fear that the rooms may be bugged by management. So because a scout came busting into the room like, what the heck is going on here? And he had to turn a fan so he can talk like, I don't want to talk about this because I think the room might be bugged for management to know that we're talking about Tom Thibodeau. I mean, I don't know why the Bulls want to fire this guy. I have the slightest idea why they want to fire this guy.
Do they have freaking FBI agents and
That's what I'm saying.
Working for
the
room's bugged. We have to talk in code.
They are
so your mom's chicken ran the coop.
They are so scared to talk about this whole situation that they had to turn a fan so management won't hear them. And he said that I don't.
What did you say? They talk into the fan to sound like Darth Vader.
They saying that with Tom and the GM interact, they're not looking at each other. They're looking down the ground. Listen, this guy. When I pull up, and I actually did a little bit of research on him. In the 5 years he was with Chicago.
He is with Chicago.
Yeah, still with Chicago. 255, 139 in 5 seasons. Okay, the playoffs he was 22 and 25. The 5 season Derrick Rose missed 229 games.
So Derrick Rose has missed a total of 3 seasons.
Basically. About almost.
3 seasons. And Joakim Noah has missed a season.
About 85 games. And for him to still pull up this record, which is about a 60% winning percentage.
With mediocre talent.
You have the MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, and the Most Improved Player of the Year, and you still want to fire this guy. When it's probably their best shot to beat Cleveland to get to the NBA Finals, which they've been trying to fight.
If he wins it, do they fire him?
Which would be weird. Why?
If he won the championship and they fired him, I quit. I quit watching basketball. If they win the championship, or if they get by Cleveland and they fire him, I'm not going to watch basketball anymore.
I don't get it. This guy's winning you games. He's been successful.
He's not a yes man.
And that's the problem.
It is.
He's not a yes man.
He's not a yes man. He's not a yeser.
They was telling him there are certain players they want him to play. It was like
and he's like, no.
He was like, put in Dub and Dermott. No. They was crying for Mirotic last night.
No.
Like, I don't know what more you can do. And still,
what you do is when you're getting blowed out like that, put them in there and see what happens.
Yeah.
And then once you get beat by 30, said, this is why I tell you no.
To me, man, it's confusing. And for Warren, man, I know
that's about as confusing as why Oklahoma City got rid of Scott Brooks.
That too. These coaching changes is that coaches will win the season can still get fired for winning.
People that have been to the finals and the playoffs for 5 years in a row, and the finals 1 year, and the Eastern and the Western and you still get fired. You're like, you did pretty good. Not good enough, but you did okay, but you're still getting fired. And then you bring in a guy who hasn't even coached.
Listen, you can't help that you played in Wade and LeBron and Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant era.
You can't help it.
You can't help it. All you can do is control what you can control and hope that you get there. But to me, I
the bad part is some of the management don't help them at all either.
No.
With some of the stupid moves they made, everything else. I feel sorry for. I don't feel sorry for them because they make too much money.
Yeah.
But you kind of go, really? It makes you double take.
Double
a couple of times and go, man, y'all people are idiots.